A Japanese warfare plan so cruel that it would wipe out thousands of people in the US in just a matter of hours. When bullets, missiles, and bombs didn't seem enough, the Japanese warmongers devised a plan for biological warfare that would inflict wounds on the US by using pathogens. This is the story of the infamous Japanese operation known as Cherry Blossoms. Operation Cherry Blossoms was a Japanese plan to wage biological warfare against cities in Southern California. This was retaliation for the US firebombing Japanese cities, killing hundreds of thousands of civilians. The plan was the brainchild of Surgeon General Shiro Ishii, the director of Unit 731, the Imperial Japanese Army's biological warfare unit. His experiments included tests with anthrax, cholera, and smallpox. During World War II, the Japanese contemplated employing biological weapons against the United States, including fleas that could spread the plague and high-altitude balloons to create forest fires on the West Coast. They also discussed sending float planes carrying plague or flea bombs on one-way trips across the Pacific in I-400 class submarines that would crash into cities. Despite being unsuccessful, these fire balloons were thought to have been the first intercontinental weapons. Up until the construction of nuclear ballistic missile submarines by the US and USSR in the 1960s, the Japanese I-400 class submarines were the largest ever constructed. Compared to American World War II fleet-type submarines, which were 300 feet long and had a submerged displacement of 2,200 tons, the I-400 was 400 feet long and had a displacement of 6,600 tons. The 144-person crewed I-400 was equipped with 3 triple-mount 25mm anti-aircraft cannons, a 5.5-inch deck gun, and 8 21-inch torpedo tubes that were mounted in the front. The Japanese started planning an attack on the Panama Canal in 1944, employing the I-400s along with the older floatplane submarines I-13 and I-14, which were specially modified to provide an attack force of 10 aircrafts. However, when Okinawa fell in June 1945, the Japanese Naval Army decided that the Panama Canal operation would have no impact on the course of the war. The Japanese surrender on August 15 put a stop to the Cherry Blossoms operations, which were held at night. On August 22nd, the Japanese submarines received orders to destroy their sensitive equipment. I-400s fired off all their torpedoes and catapulted the float planes without unfolding their wings, sending all to the bottom. It's questionable whether Operation Cherry Blossoms could have been carried out. The equipment was available to carry out the attack, but during this time, several Japanese cargo ships were sunk in battle by US submarines. Although it was promised to the Japanese Army that more I-400s would be completed by September 1945, the severe material scarcity makes that unlikely. Japanese bombs carrying biological weapons were dropped on Chinese military and civilian targets. While precise figures are difficult to come by, recent research indicates that the number of Chinese murdered by Japanese biological warfare may have exceeded 500,000. Biological weapons as a terror tool undoubtedly could have had a significant psychological impact and given the Japanese a major propaganda win. It would have been yet another addition to a long list of war crimes committed by Imperial Japanese forces. If you found this story interesting, do subscribe to the channel and leave a like for more interesting content.